Hello everyone and welcome back to our SQL series. So far we have been fetching rows like an individual record, so like one customer, one order, one product. But as data analysts, that's rarely what we need. So what we need? We need answers. For what? So for questions like how many order did we get? What was our total revenue? This city has the most customers. What was our average order value? So that's aggregation. We just aggregate the values and give it the answer. So how we'll do it? That's what this video is all about. So in this video we will just cover all of this, five functions, one grouping calls, one filter. So let's explore this. Let's start with our workbench, and we will just use our existing database store underscore db. Let's run this one. Okay, no issues. So now let's start with count. Count means it will just show how many rows. It will just answer the question at how many rows, right? So now this slide, select count star as total customers from customers. Just run this. Okay, we got total of 100, right? As we know the total number of customers we have is 100. So let me adjust this. Okay, so now what we'll do is I'll just tell you one thing, that is count star star means that it will count all the rows including nulls. Okay, it won't identify that. Then count columns, it will only count non-null values. So it will know what columns needs to be calculated. It will not include null values in this. Okay, this is the difference between count star and count column. So we'll just select count phone as customer with phone from customers. Now let's run this. 100. We don't have any null values here, so we got it as 100, same as number of customers. So now let's select count star as delivered orders from orders, right, where status is equal to delivered, right. So what we can see here is, so it will just find all the values where we can see it is as delivered, it is 39. Okay, so now let's go with the next one, which is okay, the next function we will be going through will be sum. Okay, what sum does? Sum just adds up the values. Okay, we'll just write a query here like select sum, in bracket we'll just write price into stock as total inventory value, okay, from products. We will just run this and we will get the whole value for total inventory we have, and here it is, right. So now let's go, I'll just adjust this, and let's go to the next query, which is select sum of quantity as delivered items from orders. We will just run this and we will get the sum of the quantity as delivered items at 156. We can see that. So what sum exactly does? So this sum adds up the value, and the more important thing is sum automatically ignores the null value. So null values are ignored automatically by sum here. Okay, so we need to like precisely say that. So the next function we will be going through will be average. So what average does? AVG, just like a normal average what we calculate in our mathematical arithmetics. So let's select average of price as average underscore price from products. So we'll get an average product price for this. So it will be like, yeah, it is reflected here, right? So let us just get deeply a little bit by let's select a roundup of average. So it will just round up the value. You can see like 22735.6. So it will just round up the value. How much? By 2 decimals as average price. So we just round up the value by the 2 decimals. You can just see that average price comma 2 to represent as the decimals here from products. We'll just run this as of now. So let's see. We got, oh, it was already two decimals, so it was not the issue here, but we can use it, right? Just for the information, we will just round it up. So now where category is equal to electronics. Electronics. What the issue? Oh, the colon. Not the colon, the apostrophe. Yeah. We'll just point the bracket. Issue solved. Right? We'll just run this now. We got the average price for the electronics. But the category is electronics, we got the average price for that. Now let's do one thing. We'll just go through one max and mean, which is like a higher value and the lower value here. So now let's write a query. Let's select max value for price as most expensive. Okay, so if there is any question like most expensive or least expensive, we can just use a max and min function there, like minimum price as least expensive from products. We'll just run this one and we will get the most expensive and least expensive item here, and we got it. So now let's move with the next query, which we will just make it a little interesting. Like let's select max order date as latest order, and next will be the minimum. We'll just copy paste. Instead of max it will be mean, and latest will be earliest order. We'll just get to know what was the order latest and the earliest one. So let's from orders. So the latest order we got was from the 30th April, and what was for the 5th of Jan. So we just analyze that here. So we will just do one thing, like combine all of this. So we will just make a summary for this, right? We just analyze the data, full products summary. Okay, so now let's select count star as total products. We'll just round up the average price at decimal 2 as average price. Okay, error here. Okay, this is all. The next one will be, we'll just sum up the stock as total stock available. So next one will be, we will just write what will stock with the max value, the max price as highest price, and then the mean price as lowest price, right, from products. Now let's run this on. So why we did this, we just got a summary for this. If we need to analyze the data wholly, we will just run all of this function together and we'll just summarize our table, right? We can also use the statistical function here, so we can just use it. So we just go with the second one, which is group by. Okay, so the group by is like a important function, we can say, or aggregating function which we use. So it will just aggregate per group. Okay, so what it mean by per group? So we'll just explain by the query. Let us select city count star as total customers, right, from customers. And what we'll do, we'll just group by city. So we'll just make a group of the cities where there will be one entry as per city, and we will just order it by total customers. So there will be ascending order by the total of customers. We'll just select, sorry, just run this, and we got the city. So there we got city name and the total. So all the total was made as per the city. So we grouped it by city, but the total here was of customers. Got it? So let's now select status, comma, count, star as total orders from customer. So here we will be just group it by status. So there will be the only entries of status, and we just count how many orders there are according to the status. So we just select and run this. And okay, so output, see this, we just grouped it by status, we aggregated it based on the status, and we got a total orders there, right? So if we need anything to aggregate or group by, we will just use group by. And what this actually does, so this, so there are few rules when you use group by. So every column in select must be there. So inside the aggregate function, it should be like count, sum. So if you're aggregating any of the function, so you can just not aggregate like the list, whole list. You need to aggregate it based on some arithmetic, like you should get the count, you should get the sum, you should get the average, something like that. It should be aggregated somewhere. Okay. And second one, you can use group by multiple columns. Third one will be that order by goes after group by. So if you see the execution order that which we are going to cover in few minutes later, so order by always goes after group by, and where goes before group by. So in later function, in later part, you are going to just see this in this video itself. So we'll just go through having. We just saw that it will just filter the data after grouping. As we are going to discuss the execution part, you will just get to know. So let us select city, count, star as total customers from customers, group by city, having, count, star greater than 5. We will just order it by total customers and decreasing, and run this. So here we can see we have just used having after group by, right? So we'll just see the next one, which will be the difference. Okay, so where versus having. So what does where versus having tell us? So if you can just see in this diagram, it is clearly mentioned what we are going to see here. Okay, so firstly we'll just go through the execution order. So if you write the code, which line is executed in which order. So first one, it will just go to from. So the first line will be the first line where the code will just run it, it will be from. So from, if you say from customers, so it will just go to the whole table of customer, and then it will go to where. So if you say where category is electronics, so it will just see the rows where the it is electronics as a category, then it will group the data there. Okay, the once it grouped everything, then it will check where it is a having condition. So having, if like if we said it is having the sum, then it will just, then it has hold the data, it will just sum it up. So then it will go to select, then it will order by, then it will just filter it as an descending, and if there is a limit, then it will just filter it out how many rows it need to show. It will just show 5 3 1, how many the limit we have gave. So this is the execution main table, then it will show where, so it will just filter it out based on the individual row which you have gave, then it will group it up. then it will use the any arithmetic function or the aggregating function which you have given in having. Then it will select it, the particular columns you need, then it will order by ascending descending, and then it will just implement the limit on it. This is how the execution works. So group by will be done first. If there is a group by, having will be done, where will be done first, and having will be done later. It is slightly confusing, but it is the important part. If you understand the execution order, it it is easy to understand. Just we will just go through execution order once more. From the main table, where, so where, as I say, electronics as a category, it will just filter. Okay, electronics, the one column will just filter it out. Okay, so you have the list of order where it is electronics, then it will, you will group it up. Okay, then it will be having. So having what? Having sum. So we'll just sum it up. Then later it will be select. Oh, it, you need to select the customer name also with that, you need to select order id with that. So you will just select everything. Then you will order by, so you will just order it by price, then you will order it by name, anything. You just filter it, ascending to descending, you will order it, and then you will use limit there. So this is how the execution is done. This is how the system reads your code and executes it. Okay, so here it is the difference between where and have. So what it filters, where filters the individual rows, and having filters the group of rows. Right, it will just go through every row. Okay, this is electronic, this is electronics, this is electronics. Where, and in the having, it will just get the whole row and it will just use it. You'll just find the sum of that, you'll just find the average of that. That's how having is. So where it runs at the step 2 before group by, as we discussed, and this runs after the group by. In the, and how it works, any column in the table, it can work easily, right? It will just see the given condition fulfills or not. But in having, you need an aggregating function there, as we discussed, like any arithmetic value, any arithmetic function like count, sum, average, man, mix. That is what next to one given it is used with. Can we aggregate? Where we cannot aggregate where, but in having it is required, it is a must. It needs group by, not required, but having needs group by, because it is coming. If there is a group by, we need have. If we have having, group by is needed here. This is what this everything is discussed as having versus where, right? So this is like, this goes side by side. I'll just mention it for code also. It goes side by side. Okay, so everything regarding where versus having has been discussed. Right, so what we will do is, we'll just go through a simple code here. So we'll just select category, comma, round up to average price by 2 decimals as average price from products where category is equal to electronics, group by category, there is issue, oh, colon. So, okay, group by category having average price less than 50,000. We'll just run as of now this. We'll just run this and let's see what we get. Is there any issue? We just, okay, we'll just mention here the filter. Oh, filter spelling. It filters rows first. Okay, and here in case of having, it filters what's up? Filters group first. Okay, we'll just run this. There is a issue. What's the issue? Okay, okay, so we got a year. So, oh, that's the same error. We just run this. Oh, there is sentence error. Okay, 1000. Okay. Okay, this is I just remove this as of underscore first. Now run this. Oh, again the same issue. The unknown fit. Okay, what we'll do is we'll just remove this and now run this. Okay, here you go. So you can see category as average and average price electronics 60,800. That's what we just counted here. So let's now do one thing. We just solve the real questions. What are the real questions? We'll just top three cities by customers count. Okay, select city. We'll just count star as customers, right, from customers, where city is not null. So as we are counting city, it should be not null. Then we'll just group it by city, order it by customers descendingly, and we'll just put a limit of 3 because we want top 3 cities. So we'll just run this part and we will get top 3 cities, which is Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, and we got the count as well. Okay, so that's a full aggregation toolkit which we gone through this video. So honestly, count some average group by having this is like a 90% of SQL it's built around. So 90% of the data and we'll just use this. 90% of the time we use this. So SQL is just built around this. So in next video we'll just level up and go to the advanced part, slightly advanced part, which are the built-in functions, string functions, data function, extract, which is like a most super practical thing to do. So just subscribe so we don't miss it and we just grow together. So see you in the next part. Bye bye.